Hi, I'm Christine to Health, and I'm here to talk to you today about what I've been learning about financial health. So, I've been reading a lot of books over the last year. It's so funny because I feel like when I have a baby, it's like I also have a rebirth myself, and I start to grow into a new person as my little one is growing into a new person. And I just finished the first year of my second son's life. And I also feel like there was a huge growth spurt that I had after my first son. And growing in management, I became a manager, and I've now been 6 years in management. But I think also with my second son, I've had kind of this whole rebirth that's been happening. So I started with reading some books about the power of positive thinking and just how if you have these positive thoughts, you can change your whole life. And then I've read some more practical books that were just like more on the side of you can become wealthy by just small habits such as giving up your latte or making small investments in the stock market or making small investments in retirement. I think it's coming at more of the aspect of like you're an engineer, you're a lawyer, you're like a high paying professional, but instead of pouring your money into fancy houses, fancy cars, you are conservative and you save, and maybe you still have things that you like to splurge on, whether it's food or whether it's a nice car. There might be some aspects that you splurge on, but usually most Americans, they live at their limits. So they may not be a lawyer, but then they're still driving the lawyer's car, or they live in a way too big of a house. The mortgage is way bigger than they should have. And I do appreciate that my parents taught me to be conservative. So even if I can afford a $300,000 house, maybe go with the $150,000 house. Maybe you're in the blue collar neighborhood, even though you could afford a house in a really nice neighborhood. So I think they always taught me from a young age to be very conservative, to be fiscally conservative. And so that really did serve me well in many ways, but maybe not in other ways. But I think there's a lot of How to Become a Millionaire books, and they're based off of you're this, like you're making a pretty decent salary, but you try to be fiscally conservative in many ways. And it's amazing the power of compound interest that you can end up a millionaire that way. But then there's like another camp of books that's more like the power of positive thinking. And, maybe those, like I've also been to like, for instance, churches where it's like they think by thinking positively, you're just going to suddenly become a millionaire. So maybe I see like a little bit of fallacy, a little bit of truth in both ways. So I think there is, whenever you're thinking positively and you have like an abundance mindset, then you're more open to opportunities that come your way. So when an opportunity comes your way, you're ready for it. You're on it. You see the potential of the opportunity. And so one person that we follow, Bob Proctor. So he was basically, I think, didn't even graduate from high school, was kind of going down nowheresville fast. And then he was opened up to the power of positive thinking. And so then he started a cleaning business, and then he scaled it, and before you know, he was quite well off, and then kind of teaching everybody about his methods. And so I see that, it's like he didn't just sit there having positive thoughts like it's going to just come to me. Like he actually went out and did something. And so the positive thinking, the confidence helped him become who he was. So there's kind of this blend of doing and thinking together. And so, I think you can pick up positive things from both types of books. Right now, I'm also reading a book by Felix. I'm forgetting his name. I'll have to put it in the show notes. But he's talking about like the things that he actually did to become really, really wealthy. So he actually is a wealthy man, but he's also a writer, a creative. So he actually enjoyed in the end of his life writing a book, which a lot of wealthy people don't want to actually sit down and write books. That's not interesting to him. But he founded Dennis Publishing, so he actually liked the art of publishing. So he sat down and wrote this book, and I just found it to be a really interesting book. So I've really been enjoying that book, but it's like more of the practical steps of becoming wealthy. And, I've also been learning that there's different life paths. So it's what's called numerology, Pythagorean numerology, and there's different life paths. And so I actually found out I'm a life path 8, expression path 8. And so like I'm like a double 8, which they're supposed to be like the powerhouse, the CEO. They can be quite poor or they can be quite wealthy. So I just thought that was interesting that I was actually meant to be rich in a way, and I never knew it. I just wrote myself off as like I'll always be like, I'm fine with just getting by or fine with just having enough. And so I found out I actually was a double life path 8, so I should be able to be abundant and have wealth. And so I found that rather interesting. And it was funny because this guy that founded Felix Publishing, he actually is a life path 8 as well. So I found that rather fascinating. But I'll be teaching you more about the tidbits of financial health that I've been learning. And I hope you join me for that. Again, I'm Christine Health. Thank you.